Welcome everybody. Hi, my name is Graham Hart from Leadership by Design. Just want to take a short video, just talk a bit about leadership in context and some of the trends that you need to start thinking about if you want to be a leader. Look at this leadership paradigm. It's alive and well, the almighty leader conducting the orchestra or maybe waving his pen at people in a cross way. We still have these built-in values that the leader knows best, the leader has most of the ideas, the leader will tell us kind of what to do, and it's not really ties the reality. I suppose in one way that's the reason why we spend so much money investing in leadership. But what are we getting back? Well, the recent CIPD annual survey report showed that nearly 3/4 of organisations in the UK thought there was a deficit in management and leadership skills. And it's more than that. More on a global point of view, leadership or lack of leadership is one of the main reasons why organisations find change difficult. So what do I mean by leadership? When I'm talking about leadership, I'm talking about primarily influencing and vision. I'm not saying leadership is more important than management. You need a mix of both. But leadership is particularly important where you're trying to create some kind of change, where you need a vision of a better place and you need the ability to get other people on board to help you kind of get that. So what I want to do is talk about 4 major leadership trends that are really impacting on how leaders can actually operate. And they are complexity, disconnection, collaboration, and sustainability. And we're going to take each one of these in turn. So let's look at complexity. Probably I don't really need to tell you what the work environment is like these days. It's very, very hectic. People are very, very busy. There seems to be complex problems, a lot of ambiguity around. It's really quite a difficult environment for people to operate in. In fact, we're finding from neuroscience that it doesn't actually work with our brain biology. I guess one of the key things around that complexity is around interruptions and disconnection. If I was to sort of ask you how often do you think the average manager is interrupted in a day, it's about 11 minutes, according to global research. And the interesting thing is it takes the average person about 25 minutes to get back in the groove again afterwards. And this is the reality for many people in their day-to-day work environment. So we need new skills in terms of dealing with pace of change, ambiguity, and complexity. And those leaders that can provide a vision to help people orientate towards that, can foster more diverse thinking around problem solving, and actually also create innovation, will thrive in that kind of environment. Disconnection is really very difficult as well. Virtual teams have been around for quite a while, but I guess they're probably even more common now, where the team is not located in one geographical area. Any leader will tell you that that creates additional challenges in terms of getting high-performing teams when they're spread all over the state or the country or a number of different countries. And that requires high level of relationship building skills and high level of collaboration and communication skills. And the ability to articulate a clear vision so that people feel a sense of ownership towards that kind of key area. Another area in that disconnection, which often isn't talked about, is the baby boomers are leaving the workplace in a huge numbers, and certainly in the middle managers in the US, Europe, and Asia Pacific. And a lot of these managers are not being replaced for obvious reasons, and they're taking a huge amount of institutional knowledge with them, and also social capital. So organizations are going to find it quite difficult that don't find ways of actually keeping that intellectual capital inside the organization. The customer relationships, the people who know how to get things done in spite of your organization. We need to have processes that allow us to harness and use that stuff when people leave the organization. I guess the key thing around the disconnection really is it becomes even more important, the ability to articulate, a clear vision forward amongst all this noise that's kind of going on. We need that as human beings. We need to feel a sort of sense of direction if we're to engage in what we're doing. Collaboration is kind of key. You look at any of the business research around most of the significant trends over the next 10 to 15 years, and it all involves working more effectively with others. Our kind of traditional silo-based model in organizations is under attack, doesn't work so well. So the ability to actually, work cooperatively and collaboratively with others becomes particularly important. And this really is bringing back things like character into the equation for leadership, and not before time. We tend to work and collaborate with people that we trust. So we need leaders who are authentic, who can be themselves, not playing a role, not people who are just applying skills they've learned at business school. We're looking for managers and leaders that can foster a collaborative work break. And that's kind of really important. And the reason why it's really important is because of this. 6 brains all doing the same activity. The key thing is that not one of those brains is the same. In fact, all our brains are different. The way that the mechanisms that we use to see the world and make decisions are different from each other. And the key thing around that is that when we're trying to get collaboration is a voluntary process. It cannot be forced. People have decided to collaborate or not. Stephen Covey, who passed away last year, said it very well a few years ago. Leadership is a competitive advantage, but it's about character as well as competence. And I think that's particularly key moving forward. Sustainability, this is an interesting one. A lot of senior leaders have given up a lot to get where they are, but they've got to be aware that they're providing role models for people that come after. And many of the younger generations are looking at what leaders go through and thinking, that's not what I want to do. So those leaders that can provide positive role models around life in terms of work balance, exercise, are paid more attention to. And there's a really interesting piece of research that seems to show that executives who exercise are consistently rated higher by the co-workers in terms of the leadership effectiveness. So yes, that might be around some of the health effects and some of the energy and dynamism you get from being fit and healthy, but a lot of it is around perception, and that perception, of course, is people's reality. So, you want to be a better role model, you want to exercise more, you want to have better life balance, you don't want to be working long hours just for the sake of it, because that has more impact with the people around you. If I want to sum all these things up, really, there's a real shift in terms of that voluntary principle, how to get people on board, and that's really requiring leaders to shift from an autocratic to more participative styles. The life is becoming so much complicated, and so is work, and so is the work environment. We need to get more brains around these issues and working more effectively together. So the key focus is around the leaders, is not only around vision, but ability to get people to collaborate with each other. That means the leader needs to focus a lot more on the team than on the individuals. And I guess the key thing we're trying to do here fundamentally is make sure that from a leader that we're building the next generation. We are providing opportunities for people to exercise courage, decision making and leadership. Thanks very much.